It is now my privilege and a great pleasure to invite Dr. Deborah Lyons to address this Encaenia. Dr. Lyons.
Wow, what an incredible day. I am reminded of the words of the wonderful Afghan poet Rumi when he said, "On a day when the wind is perfect, the sail just needs to open and the world is full of beauty. Today is such a day." As you, the graduates of 2015, open your sails and set off on your journeys, today is truly full of beauty. Today is such a day. Lieutenant Governor, Chancellor McCain, President Campbell, platform guests, wonderful dedicated faculty, friends and proud parents, and you, the happy, spirited UNB graduating class of 2015, soon to set sail. What an honor it is for me to be here with you. I stood here at the podium as UNB's first female valedictorian in 1971. Do not do the math. Okay. I am delighted that the winds of fate have steered me back here to accept this incredible tribute, this honorary degree, but all the more so because I did not have to cram for exams for this one. I know you can relate. I believe I am here today because I have the privilege of being Canada's first female ambassador to Afghanistan, continuing the work that so many brave Canadians have done over the past 15 years, helping the Afghan people rebuild their nation, including giving Afghan girls and boys the chance to take the same educational journey that you are all just completing today. But sometimes I wonder, how did a young girl from a large, poor family growing up in the Miramichi River in northern New Brunswick become an ambassador? Well, that's easy to answer. I am a UNB graduate. I was here at UNB at the beginning of the women's movement and the middle of the Cold War. We thought talking on a payphone was cool. And we spent hours planning the next student demonstration and organizing sit-ins. I'll say that now that I have my degree. You all have been much better behaved than we were. Every generation feels that they are special, and mine certainly did. After all, we were hippies, flower children, a terrible sense of dress, and I'm just glad that no one could take selfies back then. But I am here to tell you, seriously, that your generation, you folks really are special. Yours is the first generation that can end world poverty. But you are also the last generation that can stop climate change. And I also believe that yours is the generation that is going to get us to true equality. Equality regardless of gender, regardless of race, regardless of sexual orientation, regardless of religion or any other form of discrimination. True equality. When I graduated, women were only a third of the university population. Today they make up almost 60%. And at that time it was virtually unheard of for women to be appointed as ambassadors. Now 1 in 4 are women. But even this incredible progress in our own country remains a far distant dream for most women around the world. Women and girls make up 70% of the world's poor and 2/3 of its illiterate population. So I am really proud of Canada's efforts to help support Afghan women in their daily struggle for a better life, a struggle that has become iconic of women's empowerment around the world. I've been told by Afghan women that I give them hope in my role as ambassador. But in truth, watching them risk their life to go and vote, risk their life to get their babies vaccinated, it is they who give me hope. Each day in Afghanistan, I see us all move a little closer to a global family where all are valued and given the opportunity to be all that we can be. I was introduced to the women's movement right here on this campus, and it changed my life. Now, I take that wisdom and I use it as an unrelenting advocate to help improve the lives of others. That's what UNB taught me to do. That's what this proud, proud university expected me to do. Now, it will expect the same of you, to take what you have learned here and make your own contributions to the world around you. We call this your commencement because your journey is just beginning. You must now chart your own course through life's wonderful adventures. And I must, as your commencement speaker, try to offer you a bit of wisdom that I gathered along my voyage. So here's what I've learned, what I think is important. Remember your roots. Hang on to the people who matter. And above all, be courageous. First, no matter where you sail, always remember your home ports. You don't know where you're headed yet, and even if you had some ideas, I can tell you, life will be full of surprises. I studied biology and the arts here at UNB, and yet somehow I ended up running a fishing hunting lodge, building schools in Africa, teaching in the West Indies, working in Tokyo, negotiating with the US on trade agreements, and traveling in military helicopters in Afghanistan. But everywhere I went, I carried the essence of home with me. And I come back every year to New Brunswick to be strengthened and renewed. I was raised by caring, committed parents who taught me to love deeply and often, and to work hard always, and who, in spite of having no money, or probably because of it, put a huge value on education. They would be bursting with pride to be here with all of you graduates today. I want to say their names to you now: Rita and Joe Lyons. They are my personal heroes, and I know that each of you have your own, either here with you today or in your thoughts. Beyond family, neighbors on the Miramichi, and the wise, wise professors at UNB taught me that we are all here to look after one another. That when tragedy happens to one of us, it happens to all of us, and so too joy is shared. With their wins in my sails, is it any wonder that I became a diplomat working in the global neighborhood? Second, remember that the journey is all about the people you will meet along the way. Some will become treasured friends, and others will be the briefest of encounters, but be open to learning from all of them. I have many special people in my life, and I would be less of a person if I had not met up with them. My 75-year-old neighbor, Fent, when I asked him for gardening advice as a new gardener, turned and replied to me simply, "Well, I don't know. I just put the seeds in the ground and see if they grow." It became a motto for life. Don't be afraid to plant the seed and let it grow. Or my colleague Alan, who gave me the best advice on parenting when he said, "Deborah, spend time with your kids. They'll turn out okay." And as an aside, I want to share with you, due to a big secret conspiracy with the president's office, the dean of arts office, and my wonderful daughter, who has an important job with Facebook in San Francisco, They all conspired to have her arrive at the hotel last night to surprise me for this moment. She is kind of at my graduation. And it's just another example of what an incredible human touch UNB has. Also, I want to tell you about the wisdom I learned from my Japanese friends, the joy of music that my Irish ancestors and my cousin Harry taught me, the gift of friendship that my roommates here at UNB gave me and continue to share with me all these years later. The best part of the journey is the people. They will provide the love, the fun, the shared laughter. And when your boat goes a little off course, they will be the ones to help tow you back to your North Star. And lastly, be courageous. You now face an exciting world of possibilities, but also great uncertainty. In Afghanistan, I have had to search for reserves of courage I never knew I had, living in a conflict zone where suicide bombings are tragically common. But I have seen true courage in action. The courage of the young Canadian soldiers, some of who are with us today here. These young Canadian soldiers who serve so bravely and with kindness, as Canadians do. Their courage drew me to Afghanistan to continue their legacy, and it propels me every day in their memory. Or the courage of the young Afghans risking their lives simply by going to school. When I meet with them, I have a full security team protecting me, but I watch them leave the school alone. These young girls and boys with their great courage and their even greater vulnerability. And I ask myself, who protects them? And the answer is simple and disturbing. I must. We all must. Guided by their courage, we must never again allow fear or terror to dim their essential and illuminating flame of knowledge. But of course, you don't need to go to Afghanistan to see courage. You see it in the everyday acts of ordinary people, the courage it took for your parents to get you to this point, the courage it will take each of you to pursue the job of your dreams, to commit to a life partner, to become a good parent, or whatever it is that you choose to do. Life takes courage. When life presents you with different paths, my advice to every one of you is to choose the one that takes the most courage. That is where you will find more of yourself. So today the wind is perfect, and our world is full of beauty. I wish I could tell you that you are going off to calm seas and a steady breeze, but you know the seas will get rough sometimes and the winds will be fierce. Your journey will be long, and you'll end up changing your destination, sometimes by choice and sometimes by necessity. But if you remember where you came from, if you focus on the people around you, and if you are courageous, you are going to love this journey. And if you're lucky and take what UNB has given you, you may even make the passage a little easier for the people who follow. So off you go, sail away from the hill. Whatever your course, you will always carry UNB with you. As President Campbell said, you are all now ambassadors. Like me, we are all UNB ambassadors. It is our personal task to be representatives of a life fully lived. So UNB graduates of 2015, I am proud to count you as my fellow alumni, and I wish you all the very best, full and open sails and safe travels. Thank you very much.